Welcome to Wide Flank, New Cool, the sub-program called the New Cool of podcast Wide Flank, where me, Sean, and Alon say hello.
Hey.
Where we each bring a topic from the world of play that's either new to one of us or cool to one that's new to one of us and or cool to one of us and new or cool to both of us.
Something like that. I think Abraham Lincoln said that.
Abraham, 40 years and he got shot.
Yep.
The point is, I could actually riff about Abraham Lincoln for a minute, but that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is we each bring a topic related to play where we tell each other about it. Sign up for the Patreon if you want to support the show monetarily, but you also get a bonus program called GLHF where we just...
You think we're fucked up on this episode? GLHF, we hang upside down for a while before we start recording GLHF.
Yeah, our faces our bald heads are really red.
Get the blood all fucked up.
Yeah. So sign up for the Patreon for GLHF, and also to get the opportunity to vote on to suggest games for Mini Club.
Yes,
that's another benefit of being a patron. What's up, Alon? How are you doing for podcasts?
Dude, what's up with sub program? You just were you workshopping that for the name of our shows?
How else would you qualify it?
I just call them shows. But welcome to the sub program.
Well, then what do you call Wide Flank then?
Podcast network empire.
Yo, I'm like the
LLC.
I'm like the Anderson Cooper of Wide Flank.
I'm
Who
like
are you?
Anderson Kruper.
What? Anderson Groupon.
Anderson Grouper fish.
Yo,
on the pan.
Anyways,
I'm fucking tired. I'm loopy.
Cool.
I'm cutting you off.
I'm tired too, but that's not why you're here, dear listener. You're here because you want to learn about two topics.
Yes, and you want the things in your brain to be firing when you're listening to a new cool.
Connections being made, questions asked and answered.
Oh man, we should make a custom New York Times Connections game for every new cool episode.
What is Connections?
You've never played Connections? Never mind.
Is this your topic?
No, it isn't.
Yo, what if though?
That's a
the
game.
The New York Times Games app.
I play them. I play actually only Wordle, really, but that's a different thing.
My cousin, I got a polar. I bought a grapefruit flavored polar recently, and my cousin called me a basic. They said, yeah, because you're a basic B, and they said the B word. They just muttered to themselves, yeah, because you're a basic.
Because you got a grapefruit seltzer?
Yeah.
What was it supposed to buy a fucking Jake Paul drink or something?
Oh, Paul American. But
Prime or whatever.
I wanted to call you basic for liking Wordle. That's the
I like Wordle. I like Hop Water. This episode is sponsored by Lagunitas Hoppy Refresher.
It's not beer.
It's
this episode.
Hop water. I can't drink beer. I can't drink alcohol.
This episode is sponsored by Lagunitas Hop Water and Paul American. Available streaming. And then
this episode's fucked up.
We're fucking off the rails.
Right. That's a good place to be for a new cool, I think, though. So I want to hear about your topic.
Speak on that. Why do you think that's a good place to be?
Loopy, making connections,
like in the New York Times.
That's what I'm saying.
That reminds me of the New York Times game.
That's what I'm saying.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm up first for today.
You're up first.
Oh, usually I ask you how you feeling about your topic this week?
I think you're going to have thoughts on it, and you're going to carry the entire episode. No pressure.
Let's see if I'm up to the challenge. Okay, but I'm up first. My topic for this week's New Cool is Klondike.
Klondike Bar.
What would you do for a card game that you can play by yourself? Yeah, so Klondike, I'll get to it. If people know what I'm talking about, they know. If they don't, keep listening. So I'm really into a game called Sawayama Solitaire. And this is an iteration of the solitaire card game developed by Zachtronics, the studio by Zach Barth. Do you know this?
Only through you. You've told me about this. Yeah.
I tell everybody about this game. I love this game. The entire time we've been doing New Cool, I've been like, I'm going to do a Sawayama episode. This ain't a it's kind of a Sawayama episode. The point is, I love a card game called Sawayama Solitaire, virtual card game. This is how that game is described it's from a compilation of, because this is a game studio that makes games for like freaks and really smart people, and they're very programmy games.
Yeah.
I've never played any of their like actual games. Have you? Like Last Call BBS, does that ring a bell?
No bells are ringing.
No. Point is they nest into all their games like solitaire games. So they released a compilation of all the different solitaires that they made, and that came into my world somehow like a year ago, I'd say. And I started playing this one version of solitaire in it called Sawayama Solitaire, which in the game they describe as such. Ahem. What do people think of when they think of the 90s and solitaire? The answer, of course, was the classic Klondike implementation that was included with Microsoft Windows.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing the animation of the cards, like,
yeah, when you win the game,
the waterfall, like, cool thing. Yeah.
And that's the end of my segment.
Fuck.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Sawayama Solitaire, this is them again. Sawayama Solitaire was an attempt to evoke our nostalgia for the original while being cooler, jazzier, and a more skill-based game. It makes it the only Zachtronics solitaire game with hidden information, with a deck of cards placed face down at the beginning, just like in a traditional game of Klondike. So I've been obsessed with this specific card game for like a long time now. It's the best. It's one of the best video games.
Wow.
And I've got a secret at the end of my section for everyone to play.
I have a question. So you were saying that they sneak in like solitaire mini games in all of their other main games?
Yeah.
So is Sawayama also part of a bigger game?
Sawayama comes from Last Call BBS.
Oh, okay. That's why you asked about that. Yeah.
But they also have like a compilation that's available on iPhone and Android. A booyah.
Hello.
Yes. I like to play it on a tablet, so the cards are like kind of close to like I've talked about getting like a really big tablet so that the cards were literally
one day they'll probably have like flexible little screens where you just have like actual little cards, but they're digital, so you can change based on what game you're playing or something.
Oh my God. Like a deck of 52
like a
screens?
deck of 52 little flexi screens.
That'll be the day.
Is
Cyberpunk 2030, bro.
That's a cool idea.
That's good. You should patent that.
All right.
Small screens.
I'll do it while you're talking so I don't have to listen to Solitaire.
Solitaire.
Just kidding. I'm excited.
Snooze. So I wanted to learn, the short version is because I loved Sawayama so much, I wanted to learn a little bit more about Klondike. You know, the thing we all take Klondike for granted, right? You would agree with this?
Well, yeah, I didn't know. Solitaire. I didn't know it's called Klondike. I didn't make that connection, but it basically in the US, solitaire means Klondike Solitaire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. So I want to give a little bit more history about solitaire card games to start. And they're actually, so speaking of the US and how different countries call them different things, the US calls this grouping of games solitaire. In the UK, in the Queen's Island, they call it patience. And between you and me, I think I might prefer patience.
That's crazy.
Right? In Europe, card solitaire is called patience. And I could riff on this for like 5 minutes alone, connecting it directly to Sawayama, but I'll do that later.
Solitaire is not a word, right?
Solitaire? I mean, solitary is a word.
That's what I mean. And like solitude, I feel like they just riffed on that or something.
Is there a... No, I'm not looking up Latin for Latin...
Here I'm gonna input a Josh voice note where he gives us the etymology of solitaire.
Yo,
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Josh.
Josh probably knows. Josh out of nowhere recently was like, "Oh yes, the game, the Mayan ball game or something."
He
was
just
like,
knows.
He was ready to talk about that hard rubber ball. Anyway, in Europe, card solitaire is called Patience, and the earliest record of a game called Patience comes from the 1783 edition of the German game anthology Das Neue Königliche Spiel.
Okay.
But it's called Patience, but it's a game that's described as being played by two people alternately. There were debates at the time about whether to call these games puzzles or games, because games were only played by multiple people. That's outside the scope of this episode. That's a whole other conversation unto itself.
Yeah.
I was telling a coworker today about my topic. And they were like, well, like what makes it a game? Like, is that a puzzle or is it a game? And I was like, you get it, kid. So the most common goal in Patience games is referred to as building sequences. So cards are shuffled, a specific layout of cards is laid out on a table, and then cards need to be stacked in ascending or descending order. And that's what a Patience game is. And if you know the rules of Klondike, which I'm assuming you, Alon, know, I'm assuming the listener knows, but I'll explain the rules of Klondike. But if you know the rules of Klondike, you know about ascending and descending cards.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you don't. Maybe I'm underselling it. I feel like you don't need to know that much more than you're, drawing cards and trying to put them in ascending order, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the game,
folks. He knows Klondike.
That's Klondike.
That's Klondike, and that's my segment. So cards are shuffled, a specific layout of cards is laid out on a table, and then cards need to be I already read that. There's all sorts of versions.
This is scripted.
Look, there's room for play, but you need rules. That's what makes a game.
Klondike
for play.
Has some rules.
Sonic has Klondike.
Klondike.
Yo, Sonic the Hedgehog. So there's all sorts of versions of Patience. There's a version called Quilt, where you lay out every card in a big weave and pull cards from the edges. It's similar to Mahjong Solitaire, if you've ever played that.
Nope.
Okay, I could dive deeper into Mahjong Solitaire, but again, outside the scope.
I know how to play Mahjong, but not Mahjong Solitaire.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
The name of this topic is Klondike because it's like, I've got a lot more to say about Solitaire.
Yeah. I want to hear a lot more.
There's a version called Black Hole where one center card has to be stacked against in ascending or descending order. Like there's like piles of 3 all over the place, and you like have to thread it like
whoa.
And you can like go in and out of time basically. So you can go like ace, king, queen, king, ace. 2, 3, 4, 3,
oh my
2.
God.
Yeah. It's not that fun though.
It just sounds like cool, but yeah, probably not that fun.
I mean, the thing that's cool that I'm trying to unlock for myself is like there's a million solitaire game designs that you can F around with if you have a 52 card deck. Like
if you have a 52 card deck and fucking nothing to do, which is when all of these were probably invented.
Like literally nothing.
It's like 6 p.m. There's no electricity. You just have candlelight in your cards, and you're like, well.
And there's no one who wants to play with you.
Yeah. You're like, guess I'm quilting these cards together.
I'm arranging these in a tricky way.
And then you're like, all right, ace, king, queen, and then, well, I should be able to go the other way too, right?
Why not? Why not?
Black hole sun.
Won't you come? I can't think of a quilt song. Can you think of
quilted picker upper?
Okay. Perhaps what is that?
It's like the Bounty jingle.
The quilted picker
Thank
upper.
You.
Sponsored by Bounty.
You're a musicologist and you're pretending you don't know that song.
Quilted thicker. Okay. Perhaps the most famous Patience game, the one everyone calls solitaire here in the colonies, is Klondike. So Klondike, the earliest rules for the game known as Klondike today appear in 1907. This game over 100 years old. Damn. And we all love it so much. It appeared in a book called Hoyle's Games, named for Edmund Hoyle, who was like a writer in the 17th century writing about games.
Oh my God.
He's the father of whist. Do you know what whist is?
No.
It doesn't matter. It's outside the scope of this episode.
Oh my God.
But it was included in that book in 1907 under the rules that we know as Microsoft Windows Solitaire, 1907 Hoyle's Games. For the absolute child that doesn't know what Klondike Solitaire is, it has a distinctive triangular tableau where you like line up cards in a triangular order with like most of them face down. It's a game with a lot of mystery tied up in it. Yeah. These other solitaire games that I told you about, Black Hole Sun, Quilted Thicker Picker Upper, those are both games where all information is present.
That's why I was pissed when you said that there's like Sawayama's more skill based. I'm like, there's probably some solitaire ballers out there that would say, you don't think this is skill based? I win. It's like, brother, give me the worst order deck of your life and I'll win this solitaire game.
You want to hear some numbers? This is a nice pivot into like, you know what? Sawayama is a game to be played. Klondike is a chance cube.
Okay.
In comparison.
Okay.
I'm going to say it. Sorry, Hoyle. I don't think Hoyle designed Klondike. Hoyle was dead at the time that book was published. Anywho, the point is it has a distinctive triangular tableau, hidden information, unseen cards. You got a stack ascending, alternating by color and in order of
suit and order of number. Yeah.
You know what playing cards are? They have numbers on them and symbols.
I should have put one on my forehead.
Yeah, and I would have to tell you about your card. And you'd have to guess which it is.
That's called.
That's a good game.
Wait, that's called what kind of solitaire?
It's called like Celebrity Solitaire.
I still have to put it in the right order, but it's just based on description of the card.
Sure,
you're like, it's not that big.
Oh, is that a good game?
Wait, can I interrupt and say, have you played Hanabi?
Hanabi? No, I've not.
Lovely game.
Hanabi.
Hanabi, Japanese card game. It means fireworks. And you're trying you blindly, using a little bit of information from your partner, have to put cards in ascending order, but you hold your hand outward facing.
Yeah, so Hanabi is what we were just like inventing.
Yes, that's why I was like, oh cool. My God, Hanabi, awesome.
I was coming in with a joke about like the celebrity game and just trying to make up jokes about the number 4.
Yeah. I like that. But all right,
I want to play Hanabi. We got to play Mount Kala. We got to play Hanabi.
Together. Yeah, we're going to play.
That's beautiful. You stack on it's steadily revealed and you stack on the aces. Who cares? Yeah. We know about what Klondike is. If you don't, get a clue. Yeah. So you started to say like, oh, it's not a skill-based game, blah, 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 blah. So let me tell you, in Hoyle's rules of games, it said that your chance of winning is 1 in 30 when there's only one pass through the deck.
Wow.
But that's baby 1907 numbers, you know? And one pass through the deck, like, of course you never win.
You can't
one pass
win. That's also, honestly, 1 out of 30 seems too high. With one pass through the deck, fully completing.
Yeah, that feels too good.
It should be like 1 in 10,000 or something.
Yeah, but also maybe that was referring to rules where you're doing like a 1 card draw, because like I think
as opposed to 3.
Yeah, I think like developing the 3 card draw came later after. Like that was an iteration. Anywho, that's getting off topic. The point is, with the advent of modern science, we've determined that a game of Klondike has 18% to 43% odds of winning. So 43 is like the ceiling of possibly winning.
That's not one pass. That's total game.
That's the whole. That's like, is this a winnable draw?
Okay, so
that's why I call
that's probably pretty low. Yeah,
it's a chance cube, bro. Yeah. It's rolling a dice and going tee-hee.
I mean, just knowing that 57% of the time it's like an almost unwinnable game state is crazy. But I still think that that's like an average, right? There's probably freaks who win 65% of their
if
their
there's
games, which is like so sick.
My gut says there's freaks who like identify that the hand is winnable like on the first pass through and are just like, I'm not playing this anymore or something. Because there's only so many weird tricks you can do in a game of Klondike, right? Like when you've like already stacked cards on the aces and you're like, I'm gonna bring it back so I can do that, which always feels grimy. But I want to read a quote from Wikipedia, okay? The rest of this totally not from Wikipedia.
I'm dying to win.
You're dying to win?
Dying to fuck, man. My brain is so fried right now.
He's dying to win.
I'm dying to hear about it.
He's gotta win. I'm dying
to hear your Wikipedia.
He's gonna play Klondike. And okay. The probability of being able to win a game of Klondike with best possible play is not known, and the inability of theoreticians to precisely calculate these odds has been referred to by mathematician Percy Diaconis as, quote, one of the embarrassments of applied probability.
Oh my God.
Isn't that fucking sick?
We gotta write an SNL skit that's it's just Goodwill Hunting, except that he just solves the Klondike
solitaire
mystery.
Yeah. Hard cut to Robin Williams saying it's not your fault.
Yeah.
When he loses a hand of Klondike.
But he's just staring at the game of solitaires.
Yeah, sure.
Staring at the cards.
Yeah.
It was an unwinnable draw.
It's an unwinnable draw. Now it's a Seinfeld. Okay. Klondike was, of course, made more famous, all the more famous when it was included in Windows 3.0 in 1990.
Yeah.
But the digital legacy of Klondike continues with Sawayama Solitaire. So the final connection I want to make, because I'm basically done. I've said a bunch of fun stuff about Klondike.
Cool.
We all love Klondike now. But the best, so it's a game called Patience, right?
Yeah.
Solitaire is fine, but Patience. And I come in here, I'm like, I love Sawayama so much. I love Sawayama more than I always liked Klondike. I like Klondike.
It's a fun game that I never ever play.
If you want to just like chill out, play Klondike. So I just want to say though, like when you talk about the game as the game is called Patience, it's literally called that because like they're games of patience. Like it's games where you're staring at the board and you have to figure it out. And I want to say, and if you don't know Sawayama Solitaire, sorry, but I'm just going to talk about my experience of this game that no one else has played.
I can't wait to check it out. Actually,
it's the best.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My favorite moments in Sawayama Solitaire are when you're looking at the board and you're just scanning for possible moves. And like, because like sometimes you get a hand where you're just like cha 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 cha, and it rolls out. Sometimes it feels so jammed up, and it's like one wrong move and I'm fucked. There's two different moves I could do, but like would this lead to this, which would lead to that? Like it approaches chess kind of in my estimation. Like the number of moves forward, and I'm not trying to shit on Klondike, but like in Klondike, like you can't think that many moves forward really. Like it's so when I found out that like this whole genre of games is called Patience, it like really affirmed like, oh yeah, that's why I love Sawayama Solitaire, because it's a game that demands patience. It's a game that like you look at the board and then a million moments of play happen in your brain.
Right. It's cool. So what can you like succinctly describe the actual gameplay? Like what did
Sawayama?
Yeah, like what are the biggest changes between Klondike to Sawayama that make it more skill based?
Let me pull up a game.
Because I have no idea what it even like looks like. You know what I mean?
So the game is it's illustrated like a solitaire game, except. And so something we didn't say about Klondike is that there's a face down pile of cards that you draw from.
Yes.
And the triangular tableau, most of those cards are also face down, but then the front card is face up. And as you stack cards, you reveal what's underneath.
Yep.
Very fun, very exciting.
Yep.
In Sawayama, all of the triangular tableau is visual. So you can like witness.
Oh, that's a lot of information.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And so that's a major change.
That's a huge change.
And also, you don't circle through the deck when you're drawing. When you draw, the cards are just they stay. and you draw and it stacks 6. You draw, it stacks 9. And are you following me?
I mean, no, because eventually you have to reshuffle them in, right? Or you can't win.
That's not how Sawayama works.
Okay, because in Klondike you can't win if you don't have like all of the cards.
Well, because Klondike keeps presenting you like part of the fun of Klondike is like I played this card, which means like the loop is one to the left, so it's like all different draws.
8 of spades I can now play, which unlocks this. Yeah.
But Sawayama is a game of information ultimately, and they make that distinction from Zachtronics because all of their other solitaire games that are included in this compilation called Zachtronics Solitaire Collection. Those are all games where you literally see every card, like you can see everything in all their other games. But the point is that in Sawayama, you draw cards and it stacks like a big long row of what you've drawn. And then at the end of that, you get an open space. So you can like store one card up there.
Okay.
And also, is this a rule of Klondike that like it has to be a king to go onto a new space, an open space, right? Or in Klondike, can you put any numbered card onto an open space?
No, I think it has to be a king.
Right? Because I'm playing
or an ace, but you pretty much always move an ace up. But there's some strategic moments I think when you would want to move something, maybe. But yeah, I think it's just king, but I can't remember. It's been like many years since I played.
That was my understanding of it. I'm playing a version of Klondike right now that lets you put any card, but that feels like different. I don't know. The point is that in Sawayama, you can put literally any card in an open space.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
also a big one. Yeah.
You get way more information and way more flexibility, which is why when they say it's like a more skill-based game, it's like, yeah, it is. And my final succinct point is that like Sawayama to me is like a significant iteration upon the Klondike design. A game that's over 100 years old. Sawayama was designed like 5 years ago. And that alone is just like, ooh, baby, the magic of games. I just said everything basically, but I'm just going to read it. It's a significant iteration of a game. Hi, Alon.
I don't like the part of the episode where we're just like, oh, wait, I got to read this, like, the rest of the thing.
Whatever.
You had a great little thing there.
And that's my segment. No. It's a significant iteration. No.
Just get it out.
It's a significant iteration of a game we know called Klondike, a game which was itself an iteration of games none of us know because they were played by Germans in the early 1800s. And the game is 52 cards laid out in a quilt formation. And everyone should play it. Everyone should play Sawayama Solitaire. And to that point, we'll be linking in the show notes to a web version of card of Patience with Sawayama rules put together by someone named Blake Watson.
Not someone called Sawayama.
No, Sawayama is like the fake corporation in the Zachtronics game.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. I want to play.
The end. We got to play Hanabi, dude.
I know, dude. It's good. Although I've never been able to make it really work with like more than 3 people, even though it says you can play up to 4 or 5. For me, it's most fun like 2 people. You're one teammate and working together.
Because you're like directly collaborating.
It's because the amount of times you can give or receive information is limited. That's part of the game's rules. So when you play with 4, it's like everyone needs information and then you're just out and then everyone's just guessing and it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but with 2 people, it's just the right amount. So like, if you play, it's like kind of at the point where if we're playing, we're going for a 100%, like a perfect run.
Sure.
And it's so fucking hard to get a perfect run, but we can get close pretty regularly because we got good.
So something I didn't even verbalize when I was talking about Klondike and stuff is that like I think of Sawayama as a game and I think of Klondike as like an interactive amusement. You with me?
Yeah,
That,
I know
like,
what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's not a toy, but it's like a system, a playful system. And it's like, and that's what's like, well, what is a game? And it's like,
yeah, I mean, I think my grandma would like sit around and just play play some
amuse
Klondike.
herself.
Yeah, just I'll fuck around and play some Klondike, whatever.
And using that binary, I'll say that it sounds like 4-player Hanabi is more of an interactive amusement, whereas like 2-player Hanabi is more of like a game.
It's so good. But one other half-baked theory before my topic is I wonder, like, right, so you presented the rates of winning Klondike games.
Right. What was
it's really low.
One of the embarrassments of applied probability.
Which is fucking amazing. I wonder if when the game was invented, 1907 through, let's say, 1987.
Yeah.
When it was only played with real cards, people aren't that good at shuffling. Right?
So the numbers are all goofed up?
I think the numbers, like, they probably won more often. Because you would get, like, some grouped up cards. But digital is like a perfect shuffle every time, right?
Yeah,
so it's like
gonna be
literally random. And it's like none of the cards are near each other or anything. So maybe.
So it's maybe on the lower end.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's just a little theory.
It's a thought experiment. Yeah, no, I could have dove deeper into the research, like the studies that were done to like try to figure out Klondike's probabilities, but it's like,
no,
that's not really.
That's not too hardcore. That's not new or cool.
Old and boring.
Old and bad. All right, my topic is Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter? Oh yeah, dude.
Have you played a lot of it?
I've tried. I know I've successfully played a lot of Monster Hunter. I've never caught the buzz of like, I gotta grind this so I can unlock this shirt and
yeah, that's kind of like the loop that it seems like hooks people. But I don't know. A new one just came out, Monster Hunter Wilds, like less than a month ago. It's completely exploded. It has like within here's a direct quote: within 35 minutes of release, Monster Hunter Wilds had already hit 738,000 concurrent Steam players.
Good luck.
That's more than Monster Hunter World all-time high and Monster Hunter Rise's all-time high combined.
Yeah. Okay.
So
people like this game.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter original one came out in 2004 on PS2.
Yep.
If you include some of the like re-releases, DLC, remakes, and all that stuff, there's 27 Monster Hunter games.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a humongous series. I had no idea. I just knew it was like this thing that some people do.
Freaks played.
Yeah. And there was like a little bit of truth to that because
there's
original. No, it's all good.
I need to, because like, I know my Monster Hunter.
Yeah, tell me.
But this is there's a goddamn Mila Jovovich movie.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Doesn't matter.
I gotta watch She Rules. Yeah. But the original Monster Hunter 2004 through up until Monster Hunter World, which was 2018, was like mostly on portable consoles.
Yes.
And mostly popular in Japan. It never really caught on in the West, except for like some, sicko Monster Hunter sicko freaks who just love it, right?
Yeah, and that was like the legacy of the game for a while. Like, I want to learn how to play it, but I don't want to have to read a wiki.
Yeah, I mean, and basically that is sort of what, based on my research, why it never caught on here is just the barrier to entry is just insanely high and bad, and a lot of the like, I guess like Japanese game stereotypes exist in this series where it's like, I was in tutorial hell and there's so many menus and there's so much dialogue and there's, all the UI is fucked up and it's like
a lot to learn.
It's like people were saying in some of the reviews and stuff, it's like, it took me hours before I even went on one hunt. And like had any fun, like hours of navigating like the bad UI and stuff. So I mean, basically, let me rewind. It's a fantasy hunting game series. Yes. You hunt, you get a contract, you hunt monsters, you get loot from the monsters you kill, and through that you create new weapons, armor, and then you do it over again.
That's the loop. Yeah.
That's the loop. And it sounds fun to me, but all the other shit sounds really bad.
Well, have you ever played any of these games?
I've never played any of them.
That's one of my go-to wide flank questions. Just like, you played this?
And my answer's always no. I've never played that. Have you? But other than just trying it for a little, did you ever have fun with it?
When I say try it for a little, it's like I've played multiple iterations for it for like 50 to 100 hours a piece.
Oh,
and
that's playing a fucking shitload, isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
like with Monster Hunter, it's like you have to I've played it a lot, but it's like the actual ceiling of playing it's not even about the ceiling. It's the way I put it before, that like I've never caught the thrill of the loop of like, I'm hunting this one. I'm hunting Rathalos over and over because I really want that hat.
You want the best in slot, WoW kind of thing.
Yeah. I always just played it because I liked checking out how the different weapons work, and it's a multiplayer game. Did you mention that?
I haven't yet.
The multiplayer aspect, just wandering around a big open field, looking at animals with my friends, and you throw a paintball and then you have to track it, and it's like that's the thing I liked. I liked the really immediate play of the game, but did not care about the stuff that the people who love the game like.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's a big part of my attraction towards it. I feel like I'm always kind of looking for co-op online games.
Okay.
And I've never played these, and it seems like this more, modern generation of games, which is mostly like World, Rise, and now Wilds,
totally,
are way more accessible. UI is not horrible. Everything feels better movement wise. It's more fun. And it seems like the kind of game where you can just be like, whatever night, anyone want to fucking do a run, kill a thing? It doesn't take that long. It's not, it's just casual. It just seems like it's just fun and casual.
It's it's more of a modern multiplayer. It's become, because I think when those games were initially coming out on the PS2, they were bizarre of their time games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels to me like there's a question of chicken or egg of has modern game design been informed by Monster Hunter, or has Monster Hunter absorbed accessibility oriented things in modern game design? And I honestly don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, what it seemed
oddly enough, continue.
You go.
I haven't played World. I played Rise a bunch, and that game felt as baroque as any Monster Hunter I'd ever played. So I was like, if this is more accessible, gamers are of freakish people that love to read item descriptions in Bloodborne, you know? So it's it's kind of hard for me to comprehend. If somebody's really, really down to learn a bunch of shit in World of Warcraft, but they're not down to learn a Monster Hunter menu, I don't know who that person is really. So when I played Rise, it was oh, this is just as convoluted and complicated as the older ones. What am I missing that everyone else is no, this one's accessible?
Right. Maybe they've just played so much of the old ones that they're oh, this one I picked up immediately. It's because he played 500 hours of the last one.
Yeah.
And I don't know from experience, but that was the argument of a lot of the articles about it, was sort of just why did the 2018 Monster Hunter World break through outside of Japan in a way that none of the others did? And, a big reason is it wasn't just on PSP and 3DS.
Sure, yeah. It was a console game.
It was console and PC. So the Western world, that's how most of the Western world plays video games, is sick. But the other argument was basically accessibility from a bunch of different angles, not just the menus. It's also you hunt within the first half hour, and crafting is easier, and gathering stuff is faster, and there's a quick select menu, which all of that just sounds oh, they just made it modern. They had this old thing and made it modern.
And that's a tale as old as time with game development. That's you play an old RPG, and it's you push a button I'm playing Earthbound right now, and it's you push a button to go into a menu to do a thing, and it's this doesn't need to be 5 steps, but also this is a design philosophy from 30 years ago like we've figured that out. Designers have figured that out over time. So like I would assume that's part of
I think so.
These new games. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean and you can probably speak on this because I again haven't played them, but one of the articles was saying like it's so great because the different weapons and weapon classes like feel almost like different fighting game characters, but like times 10.
Sure.
Like
I was
it's
gonna
like
say they feel
you
like
want to be fast, you want range, like what do you find fun? Do you want like it's really slow but like big hits with the great sword or whatever? Like it has all of that.
Totally.
So that's cool.
There's two things I want to say about that. Because I haven't engaged with Wilds like at all because I can't run it.
Yeah, I don't think I even can either. Honestly, it seems like that's a problem.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe it'll come out on Switch too.
Maybe it has cloud gaming.
Hey, that'd be a point. Is that something I've heard about that game? Is you can bring 2 weapons with you at once, which feels like such a wild. Because like literally, a thing I loved about the old games was like, oh, one of these weapons it's like you're saying it's a fighting game character times 10. What I tend to say about it is like one weapon is like an entire game unto itself.
Yeah, it's just almost like instead of a class of a character, you ride with a class of a weapon, and that's like how you play.
It's like everything. Yeah, truly. Like it informs so many, and it is a very like bounce. I don't want to just talk at. This is your topic. This is your topic.
I knew you would carry though. I prophesized this.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that it's like this is what I'm saying about like it is a game series with like really immediate bouncy play because like
meaning what? What does that mean?
Like the maneuverability can be a little hunky junky like but like there's all the weapons do all these different things. So like you're constantly like making it's not just like like you know like it's there's all these different maneuvers that you can do, and like if there's anything I love about Rise, it's that Rise started like really messing around with like mobility in the game, so you can like hook shot into the air off of like a bug and then be in the air doing stuff and like jump off of walls. And you can jump on an animal and like and so it just becomes this like 3-dimensional like truly like 3-dimensional experience of like I'm going to deploy this attack at this location and I got to cut the tail here and do this, and it's these. I'm doing a lot of hand gestures of a globe for the audio listener.
I can imagine a 3D fight like that being sick, and that again that is like something that appeals to me. I mean, it sounds like there's not much story in these games, and it's not an RPG from everything I can tell. And you don't level up in that kind of way. You're not adjusting your like strength and your attributes and stuff. And like your friend played 10 more hours than you when you were out of town for a weekend. Now you can't play with him anymore because he's too high a level. That's not the case in this game, which is very appealing, right? But yeah, I wanted to read this donkey quote because it speaks to you with the 50 hours thing. But he said, people who play Monster Hunter will argue that the first 50 hours of the game doesn't even count because that's the part of the game with cutscenes and talking, and nobody likes the storylines in Monster Hunter, but Capcom keeps doing it because they don't like us.
That donkey.
He's a funny guy, and we like his games. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I was gonna say. I mean, I have my like grand thesis, and I have some stuff about Kaname Fujioka, who's the director of every single Monster Hunter game.
I don't know anything about this person.
So Kaname Fujioka, director of every Monster Hunter game except for Wilds, where he's the art director, the most recent one.
Oh, cool.
This dude is he's just legendary. He joined Capcom as an arcade art designer, mostly doing pixel-based animation for Street Fighter Alpha 3, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Capcom vs. SNK, Devil May Cry 2, and he was art director on Street Fighter 6. Like I said, director on every Monster Hunter game except for the newest one. Also director credit on Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and some other stuff.
Okay.
And then, I mean, he just slays, this guy.
Earlier in the episode, you were saying something about like, it's not clear what what made the new ones break through. And I was ready to be like, the graphics.
Yes. Because
like the visual aesthetic of the visual aesthetic of World was like very it seemed like that was a goal of that, because I love the way those old games look. They're like realistic looking, kind of.
Yeah.
But they're like stylized realistic. Like it's like if an anime person had human flesh, but it's a lot of like really mundane, like grassy plains and things like this. And Monster Hunter World was like this like bountiful PlayStation 4. Like, all this like graphics,
and that was part of why they moved to consoles for the hardware. Because they're like, oh, we can like do huge, crazy shit now, and the monsters look, to me, like a Souls game. Like, it's like, this huge monster that takes up the whole screen. And I mean, a lot of the fighting and stuff like that is kind of, I mean, it's pre-Demon Souls. Like, to me, it's like, it's clearly an influence on Miyazaki, like the dodging with a roll and a 3D fighting game and all that stuff. So it's very influential. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, just a little bit of a history of why they even like made one. In 2000,
tell me more.
Capcom decided they want to develop network-focused games for the PlayStation 2. They just like ripped it all up and were like, this is what we're doing now. So the 3 games born from that are Auto Modelista, which I just posted in the Discord Games channel, which looks fucking sick. Might be one of my mini clubs next time we do a mini club.
Cool.
Resident Evil Outbreak in 2003, and then Monster Hunter in 2004.
Okay.
And in a more recent interview with Fujioka, the director, the interviewer said, "Is there anything that hasn't changed since your original concept for Monster Hunter in 2004?" And he said, "Yes, the concept of everyone working together to defeat a big monster."
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, dude, you did it.
It's very straightforward.
You fucking did it.
Yeah, and I think like, because these are games that really come alive when you're playing with other people, like that, and that was part of it. Like, I think like the internalization of I want to upgrade my shirt, that's like a loop for like that's a loop that exists only in your mind. Like, maybe your friend can be like, come on, bro, let's go hunt that Rathalos. I know you want that shirt.
Yeah.
But it's like the fun of playing with a friend in Monster Hunter is like, this is a thing I haven't even described, that like sometimes these fights go on for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
It's all boss
and you
fights.
Keep getting and every time it's all boss fight. It's like you have to explore a map to find a boss and then chase the boss around. And the feeling of, oh god, I fainted, and like you and your friend only have a set number of feints that's even allowed, like it is palpable. It's not like your friend gets pissed at you, but it's like, I've let down my friend.
Yeah. You're really working together.
Gotta like be alone against this monster while I like hustle back from camp and
oh my god, that's what happens.
Yeah, you get like sent back, and then your friend is just like, I'm still with the guy, like and like they just have to. Like,
it's awesome, man.
That's a scary position for you to be in. Like it's the push and pull of the game gets amplified so much by like the presence of other, like it's a fun game to play by yourself.
I want to play with homies, maybe in Discord, maybe soon. Even though it's a new game, so it's like $70, so I'm not sure.
I was about to say to you, just like get Rise or World.
Oh yeah, dude. Maybe like, one of those and just start. Yeah, that's true.
I'm typing in Monster Hunter Rise crossplay into my computer here. Monster Hunter Rise does not support crossplay.
How about World?
Okay.
Yeah, why would a modern game not do that? Isn't that
Monster
just
Hunter
like
World does not support crossplay.
A+. Wait, what do you play on?
No, Monster Hunter World supports crossplay between PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I would buy Monster Hunter World on PS4 to play it with you.
I have a PS4 and I have a PC.
There you go. Rise was a Switch game originally.
We'll talk. We'll talk soon. So let me
friggin' talk.
Let me round it off. This is kind of why the topic, was appealing to me at all, or caught my eyes. Well, first I mentioned Wilds is like totally exploding. Fastest selling Capcom game within 3 days of release.
Can I say the phrase?
Yeah.
It's the game du jour.
It's the game du jour. And it's just, I just was inspired, and I think it's just so sick that Capcom was basically spent literally decades, trying to convince people outside of Japan that these games are cool and they should play them. and it didn't work. They failed.
Yeah.
But they stuck with it because it was still sustainable in Japan and people were still loving it, even though it's kind of niche. And they didn't give up. Capcom didn't give up. You don't have to have a breakout hit on your first game before you fire everyone at your fucking company like every modern company is doing. They stuck with it. It's a good game, and now it's exploded.
Now it's the biggest game.
The biggest game 21 years later after the first game came out.
I think it's telling that like people did love it, but it was like a niche audience, but they were just like serving that niche. And I have to assume that like because they were portable games, the production costs were like a little more manageable, kind of.
Right.
And, like,
I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't.
I mean, who knows? Truly, but like, it's.
They weren't losing money, or it wouldn't have lasted this long, right?
Yeah,
like, that's for sure.
And like, I think they reused a lot of assets in a lot of the games too, because like, there's games. I think I own on the 3DS like Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, which is like a version of a Wii game or something.
There's so many games. There's like the main series that I think is 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
And then there's the portable series.
Monster Hunter Generations Double Cross.
Yeah, and then there's just this whole section on the Wikipedia that's just other games. It's just like, oh, this one came out on Android and added a two-handed weapon or whatever.
Sure.
They've just like been iterating on this for 21 years.
Yeah.
And they found something that fucking hit after all that time. It's awesome.
It's reached like it's been like a fucking 5, excuse my language, but it's been like a 5-year, because when did World come out?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
So it's been 7 years of a crescendo.
Yeah.
Like they built, and then like released a game that everybody loved, and then Rise was also a super big game, and now this is like the biggest game in the world.
And they had one director the whole time. Like it's so cool. Like it's just such a like great story, and I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for that dude. Like I just wish more shit was given a chance. Is what I'm trying to say.
Allowed to like steadily. Yeah, like can you think of other examples that like follow? Like it's easy for me to think of like Capcom examples that follow that trajectory in a way, but like
I mean,
but not even.
I think it's like in all art forms there are examples, even though there's not necessarily one coming to mind. Like I'm sure there's like directors who, I mean, like Sean Baker or something like that, right? He's just indie movies, like getting a little bit of love, a little bit of support, then he just wins every Oscar.
Monster Hunter Wilds is the Anora of video games.
No, don't say it. But I don't know, like music.
Did you see Tar,
right?
dude? Did you see Tar?
Yeah, I saw Tar.
Monster Hunter was in Tar, dude.
What?
At the end of the spoiler alert for
Tar.
Alert,
she's a gamer.
Spoiler alert for Tar. She stops music and gets into gaming. But truly, remember the concert at the end of the film, and it's everybody in weird costumes?
Yeah.
It's her conducting an orchestra playing the intro music for Monster Hunter World with like footage from the game playing.
That's amazing. I didn't even know what it was when I saw the movie, and now
when the movie started,
about
in the opening. Sorry, I'm geeking off now, but in the opening titles for the movie, it said Capcom, and I'm gearing up for my like prestige Kate Blanchett film, and it says Capcom, and I'm like, oh, Capcom, what do we got here? And it's the ending of the film.
You're the meme of the guy in the party who's like everyone's dancing and you're in the corner.
No one here knows that Capcom
knows that this is Monster Hunter World footage.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean, sick. I think I was gonna say music too. Like I'm sure I can't think of examples.
Totally. Yeah.
But just like
a band
this band's been touring for 18 years and they're fucking sick, and then all of a sudden they just like for some reason explode, and it's just like
Killer Mike.
Sure.
I don't love Run the Jewels, but Killer Mike.
Sure.
I don't know.
There's that Baltimore band.
Aerosmith.
That one. No, what's the fucking? Oh my god.
West Coast.
Searching Baltimore band is pretty bad. Future Islands.
Okay.
You don't know that band?
I don't know bands.
I mean, Future Island is.
I like Nine Inch Nails.
What's around since like, I don't know. We were in high school or something.
Really? And they've just kept it up?
Yeah, and they're just awesome. And then in like, I don't know, maybe 5 or I don't know what time is, maybe 8 years ago or something like that. They like blew up with one song and one like live Letterman performance or something.
All it takes.
They just like all of a sudden like quadrupled in size.
Sure.
And they just play like huge venues now. They're just fucking the best.
So Future Islands is the Monster Hunter. Why? Future Islands is the Anora of video games.
Oh god, these analogies are brutal. But yeah, I want to play Monster Hunter. I wonder if anyone else wants to play.
Make a new thread for it in the Discord.
Yeah, actually.
Come on down to the Discord. We just did a big refresh. Alon did the refresh. Let's hear it for Alon.
Thank you.
Alon did a big refresh to hopefully simplify the experience of using the Discord. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff in there. And what's the other thing? Patreon, Discord.
Yep. The Patreon has a show called GLHF where we're really silly boys.
Wait, are we restarting? Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just doing an intro because it's the beginning of the episode. I thought you were going to
start the intro from me saying goodbye from Wide Flank. It doesn't matter. The point
I
is,
didn't get it.
Whatever. It'll all work out. The Patreon. We already said all the Patreon stuff. Do you want to just say it? It's a mess.
I don't know if we said it in the outro or we said it in the new intro.
Can we just have the messiness of the outro be part of the intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to, and then the actual start of the episode.
Welcome to Freak Flank.
Freak Flank, Wide Freak. Tell a friend about the show. That's important.
Give us a fucking review on Apple, on Spotify. That actually helps us grow. We get no viewers, but I know people are out there clamoring for us.
Like and subscribe. If only they knew about us, they would want to give us a big hug with their ears.
All I'm asking is to walk the deer to the stream. Don't make it drink water. You know what I'm saying?
Like a horse in headlights.
Yes.
The Wide Flank. Can I say one more factoid about Monster Hunter?
Yes.
It's not just a Mila Jovovich film. It's a Mila Jovovich film adaptation of a Capcom property directed by W.S. Anderson, which was also the director and actor pairing of the Resident Evil film.
Oh, which, and they're married, I think.
And they're married, which, like, what does that even mean? That, like, he has a good relationship with Capcom? Like, it's weird.
Honestly, yeah, that's exactly what it means. They're happy with the budget and time that he produced the Capcom movies, and they're like,
W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich are the Sean Baker and Mikey Madison.
They're the Alon and Sean of Hollywood.
All right, thank you for listening.
Writers. The writing credit on the Monster Hunter IMDb for the movie, not the game, is Paul W.S. Anderson and Kaname Fujioka, the guy that
he got a credit. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's good.
All right. Good luck splicing.
We gonna splice. Bye.
Bye.